It was fall of 2021. Brian Gavigan asked me to participate in a luncheon he was having about sort of an economic development project, and I quickly realized that there was some real efforts to bring pro soccer to the Triad. Soccer has been a big part of my life, but I didn't really realize it until reflecting on it recently. We did a family trip years ago. I think we were all still in college, and we went to Kenya. So we challenged the local villagers to a soccer match, and it was just on like a dirt field. And what other sport can you think of in the world where you can go halfway across the world, pick up a game, not speak a word to each other, and love it?
People may be surprised to know that, I come from a relatively small town, High Point, North Carolina. I think like for myself, when I was growing up, kicking against my house and breaking windows, and then, a long time later, speaking to like Jurgen Klinsmann and what he was doing at my age, and he was kicking off the wall of his dad's bakery. Same thing, but just in two completely different parts of the world. And then we meet in '98 in our first World Cup game.
When you talk about having something in our region that can attract all types of people, soccer becomes that very thing. It's a thing that unites crowds, populations, all cheering for the same thing. And when we can unite, then we can do so much more together.
People don't realize that North Carolina has a super rich soccer history. Also, having grown up playing soccer here, we were a part of that grassroots era that was sweeping the nation, and it certainly caught on in North Carolina.
The Triad is ready for pro soccer. We want it. It is a hotbed. We've got the skills, we've got the talent, we've got the player pathway, and now we're completing it with MLS Next Pro. We're ready for it.
There's a melting pot of people in the Triad that are really ready to support this. Not just High Point, Winston, Greensboro, a team for the Triad and all the local communities in between.
When you think of Triad, you think of Greensboro, Winston-Salem, and High Point, but really just over half of the residents of the Triad live in those three cities, which means that there are so many communities that are represented.
Kids can have local heroes. It'd be great to have a local club where my boy has a local top and he's walking around with that top on, creating that brand and supporting that team.
If there was that local franchise when I was growing up, I would have loved it. It would have really been the kickstart for maybe some better things. And not just for me, but for my teammates, my peers.
Being able to have that is just such a huge advantage because you have people kind of paving the way for you or saying to you, this is the pathway to the pros. Whereas we just didn't have that.
The more high-level soccer you can have in front of kids growing up, they're going to be able to learn, they're going to be able to model their behaviors, they're going to be able to emulate what they're seeing, and it's just going to make them more passionate about the game.
You see those players playing every weekend, you had posters of them up on your wall, you'd want to be that player, you'd mimic that player on the field on a weekend.
Some kids will start watching and then someday be on the field playing. The hometown heroes, the homegrown players.
There were going to be people that grew up and played soccer in the Triad who are going to get paid to play soccer for a living because of this team.
We want to reach and touch everybody, and we want to give everybody the opportunity to become a professional player.
I would love for us to do just as much off-field support and development as we do on the field. For me, this opportunity is really about what are the opportunities that can be brought through the vehicle of soccer.
That's a different commitment than what the other sports teams have taken on. It's not about making money. It's about developing the community and helping the people here.
People are aware that a professional sports team is coming to this region. That means people are now more aware of what they can do in this region, and it just attracts even more opportunity for all of us here.
We're going to revitalize downtown High Point. We're going to be having an opportunity for the community to come together on another stage.
But everything's going to lead with fan experience. Yeah, you track numbers, but we're not leading with numbers. That's not inspirational. So every decision's being made with how does this impact the fan experience?
If you've been to any of the MLS games, you can tell that North Carolina has a really raucous soccer culture. And we have an opportunity here in the Triad to build something local, easy to get to.
It's amazing how soccer impacts to a lot of people. You see, in every corner, Latinos, adults or youth, they playing, every day. You go to a park, hey, they're playing over there. So it's huge for the Triad. If a team comes, a professional team, being so close to them, it will be a great impact.
having a team locally that, quite frankly, from anywhere in the Triad, you can get there in about 30 minutes or less with your family is very attractive.
The Triad is crying out for this type of opportunity, this type of pull for families and for kids. I mean, you're bringing together people from all different cultures, backgrounds, demographics, and it's to enjoy an experience. It's to share an experience.
Bueno, la pasión de los hispanos, para nosotros la llevamos en la sangre, en el alma. Okay, es algo grande, es increíble cuánta es la multitud que ama el soccer. Como le decimos nosotros, el verdadero fútbol.
My hope is that through this MLS Next Pro team and club that we show the nation and the world that the Triad is a phenomenal place for soccer, that we have talents and skills and we have young people that have the potential to make it all the way to the big leagues, that we are going to help untap that potential.
As someone that grew up here, that would be as cool as it gets, so I'm really looking forward to it.
I speak pretty passionate about it because just to see the growth, the evolution, the hard work that's many people have put forward, it would mean everything.
It's super exciting for me to be able to come back home. Having started here comes full circle, really with no professional soccer, to watch it culminate in what it's become, that's the dream for me.